This revolution is trying to collapse because people have put their egos above the people of Ambazonia.
My country people then. So as we already understand, there is a civil war in the new country of Ambazonia, and in the past few weeks I have been warning people that the struggle is dying, but I think it is dying even faster than I imagined. Wanna listen?
Are you seeing the calamity we are right now into? We don't pray for the worst, but people know the reality. They know the things that they are doing that are deleterious and harmful to the struggle, but they still do it. That is where we find ourselves today.
So to give you a bit of a background to the Civil War, this Civil War started as a Cold War, an underground war that started with the consolidation of power. Basically, there are two rival groups in Ambazonia. The AGC is led by Ayabacho and the IG led by Sako Ikome. So Ayabacho was given the title Commander-in-Chief, and he was responsible for overseeing the fighting forces on Ground Zero. He was in command of the ATF and a few other camps on Ground Zero. Even though Ayaba was commander-in-chief, some of the camps were still loyal to Sisiko Ayuktabe and reported directly to the IG, but Ayaba wanted to take complete control of the Ground Zero forces. He came up with a strategy called Block by Block, where he said that all the Amba fighters can fight anywhere on Ground Zero. He used this strategy to try a hostile takeover. Basically, he would send his ATF boys to go from one camp to another and convert that camp to ADF. And if the fighters in that camp refused to convert to ADF, the camp would be destroyed and the boys would be killed. Of course, some of Ayabacho's boys were captured and they were made to confess on video that they were sent from one camp to the other to capture the camps. So that is the genesis of the fighting between AGC and the IG. They are fighting over who controls the Amba boys on Ground Zero. Anyways, so in the past few weeks, other three significant things have happened to speed up the fall of Ambazonia. Thing number one, Ayaba oil deal in London. In September 2018, Ayabacho went to London to sell Ambazonia oil reserves to a British company without notifying anyone. But then Ayaba got to London and he was confronted and exposed as a crooked, corrupt, gullible fool who believed that the oil deal was actually happening. The whole deal was a lie to expose Ayaba, and blinded by his insatiable greed and lust for power, Ayaba allowed himself to be played like a fool and fell in a trap in London. Since Ayaba went to sign the oil deal in London without telling anyone, this has caused many in the IG to cut Ayaba out. Ayaba was raising funds through nchangshuboys.org and also getting some money from the IG to fund the boys on the Ground Zero. However, as greedy as he is, Ayaba was also mismanaging the donations from changshuboys.org and using some of the money to bribe the fighters on the ground to be loyal to him. The oil deal, plus the fact that Ayaba was trying to overthrow Sako Ikome, is the main reason why there is massive civil war in Ambazonia, in the diaspora, and on Facebook. Thing number two, the corruption and more infighting. Una listen.
We'll not get nothing about unity. We'll get unity in interim government. Ayabacho and the gang will not need them again for the government. Will not need them because now people the way if you give Ayabacho one space, he will do coup d'etat, key all man from Ambazonia. Ayabacho.
Nalova B, I remember the orchestrator of this. I still have my chats with Nalova B. Nalova is a criminal. I'm sorry to say this, but Nalova is a criminal.
Talk about those who are stealing. I can say it authoritatively that Tapang, you stole Dr. Fontaine's money. You stole money for Red Dragons. You stole money for refugees in Boston. I can say it anytime because those are facts that people can see. If you want to know where my trip to Boya is, go and ask Dr. Sako, ask Secretary Tabenyang, ask them. I've asked for accountability from everybody enough. So if you want to think that you can ask questions, start by asking us about the London oil deal.
So the corruption of the IG with my trip to Boya exploded into the public domain in October 2018. So many of the people in the diaspora that were contributing money to the IG stopped contributing money because the IG members were stealing the money. Without money, the IG has no control over the boys on ground zero. And they also wanted to stop Ayaba and ADF from taking over all the camps and seizing power. So the IG came up with a strategy called county by county. And they said that each Amber camp should remain within the borders of their county. And this was designed specifically to stop Ayaba from crossing over to other counties and taking over other Amber camps. In fact, I'm going to let Dr. Akwanga explain county by county. Wanna listen?
I have won against county by county, and I still want to repeat it now. This is a dangerous slippery slope. And we, each one of us, are seeing the attributes of this madness. How could an individual or group of individuals decide to create a policy that deals with the life of almost 8.5 million people simply because you say you need county by county in order to shun away Comrade Lucas Cho Ayaba from the ground? How could you make a policy based on an individual rather than a policy based on saving the homeland? Where are we going with this madness? As long as there is county by county, the chaos on ground zero will continue. I have asked that you stop this madness, stop this policy.
When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes a duty. We are going to resist the interim government and the Boyo Council. If you want us to fight back in the house, we'll do it.
Thing number 3. The Cameroon army has stepped up its efforts to wipe out Amber boys. So the October elections are over. Whether you like it or not, Paul Biya has been declared the winner. So now the Cameroon military have stepped up efforts to eradicate the Amber boys problem. Remember, the African Nations Cup is coming to Cameroon in 7 months, June 2019. So the regime in Yaoundé have given the equipment, manpower, and all the resources that the military need to eradicate the problem of Amber boys as soon as possible. As a result of this, there has been devastating consequences on the Amber boys. You have seen pictures from Kumba, Nkambe, Bali, Eyumujok, and other places. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Amber boys have been killed since October the 1st alone. A few days ago, I told you that these are desperate times for Ambazonia. They have no money, no strategy, no idea what they're doing. In short, on the 5th of November 2018, they went and kidnapped 81 students and teachers from PSS Nkwen in the Northwest region, and it backfired on them spectacularly. All the international news agencies from CNN, BBC, New York Times, Amnesty International all said that the Amber boys were responsible for kidnapping the children. Ambazonia was compared to Boko Haram, and they quickly released the students and teachers within 2 days. General RK is arrested by forces loyal to the IG and held indefinitely without trial, and the infighting sees no end. There are deep divides between Ayabacho of AGC and the IG Sako Ekome, and the infighting is so bad that the IG supporters are publicly saying that Ambazonia has 2 enemies. First, the enemy is AGC, and then second, La République du Cameroun. Wanna listen?
Don't get confused. Now we get an enemy already. We now clean ADF. And then we get La République. Those are the 2 power fashion. Because look at from Allah, Sokadef, even Dr. Kwanga don't come for live shoka complain about Ayaba. Before they go make Magu because it's already bad. It come for live shoka complain about Ayaba Cho, how they don't go attack Sokadef for Mato. Una be here, na me talk. Una be here. Red Jack on the complaint for the BLM. You get 50 soldiers, you take 2, 3 for go cause havoc. Let it be clear. We don't get nothing again about cooperation or collaboration with AGC. Now, group of the people. Most of the girls they for AGC are prostitutes. They need work, they need do nothing. They just move around Maryland and some states of America. They disturb. Now, criminals. So,
And all this infighting is causing some Ambazonia supporters to publicly cry out and explain that the Amba boys are demoralized, losing faith, and the confidence is shattered. Wanna listen?
If we start to bring in this type of poison into the revolution, we kill our people from inside. And when a soldier is demoralized, when they have lost faith and confidence in for the purpose for which they are fighting for, game is over.
We are tired with the insult. We are tired with the arguments. We are tired of saying this is mafia, this is this.
And to make matters even worse, last week was devastating for Ambazonia. Starting on Sunday the 11th of November 2018, I put out a video commentary explaining how Ambazonia had a new focus for the week. The focus was General Arke, who is an Amba general that was captured by Amba boys loyal to the IG. Many people, including Capo Daniel, were online spreading rumors saying that General Arke was executed. The IG was forced to show proof of life to release a video showing that General Arke was still alive. And then to make matters even worse, 2 days later, on the 13th and 14th of November, more than 30 Amba boys were killed in Kambe and Du, and this was because of the Mbororo community having been terrorized by Amba boys for so long. They were fed up and they seek assistance from the military to wipe out the Amba boy camps in Kambe and Du. And even Dr. Akwanga was fed up with the Amba boys' terrorism, and he came out publicly complaining that the rampant kidnapping has to stop because, in fact, Akwanga's own brother was targeted for ransom by Amba boys. Will now listen.
And this is for the forces on the ground. There are some of you, our own forces, who have begun indulging in acts that I can call crimes, war crimes. I'm saying this in the open. There are some of you on ground zero. I know you, I know your names, I know where you are commanding. I know each one of you. Some of you are within the Muyuka Ekona estuary. You have not only sent letters to our people around my 16 and Bomaka, aided by a son of my 16. My own senior brother has not been living in his house now for close to a month. My own direct brother has to pay ransom to some of you people.
So a few days ago, Eric Tato was online asking people to donate $2,000 each because he wanted to raise $3 million. And then this new Amber Coin initiative to raise money was published just on the 25th of November 2018. The revolution is financially bankrupt. Now they are even more desperate for cash than ever before. People that used to contribute money have stopped. And then to make matters even double worse, few days ago on the 16th of November 2018, General Amigo was killed. Many in the IG camp are blaming the AGC camp for killing Amigo. So where was I? Yes, on Sunday the 18th of November 2018, Tapang Ivo was live on Facebook, sounding the alarm. He is ready to surrender. He sees the struggle is dying because he sees no way out. In fact, wanna listen?
This war must be exported into La République du Cameroon, or we must tender an apology letter to Mr. Paul Biya. This is Tapang Ivo saying it. We have to tender an apology letter to Mr. Paul Biya, and I will personally deliver the letter. We cannot sit and watch our own people being slaughtered like goats.
So to summarize on the state of the revolution, there is total confusion and dysfunction, mismanagement, embezzlement, no money, and they are fighting amongst themselves. And the military is killing Amba boys like flies. Even their so-called generals are falling. Arke is captured. Amigo is dead. Even General Ashu is dead. Odeshi is not working. The boys on ground zero are scared, demoralized, shaken to the core. There is no morale. Fighters are hungry, and therefore kidnapping for ransom is on the up and up. Even targeting family members of the IG. All their strategies are backfiring, like the kidnapping of the school children. And they don't even know who their enemies are. They are seizing weapons from their own fighters. And this is the new one. They are now saying that the United Nations is now their enemy. Will now listen.
This is the moment to confiscate anything and everything United Nations has on the ground in our territory. Every United Nations official or piece of equipment that is seen moving or standing anywhere in Ambazonia must be hurriedly, and I mean hurriedly, confiscated.
My country people then, Ambazonia movement, Ambazonia revolution is collapsing faster than I imagined. The state of the Ambazonia revolution can be described in simple words: total confusion, total frustration, total failure. The end of Ambazonia is near. My country people then.
So we have a lot on our hands. As I'm coming live, I've seen some corpses in Bamenda, death. Every day they kill our Amba boys.
I'll be the only activist who don't fight for do all way many that they unite. But don't see and say no way, not the way they not ever unite. So me be clear, not call my phone. I tell somebody yesterday, say for me, my first enemy before the Republic, my AGC and ADF, is very clear.
Matter finish.